I see the Padawan needs one last lesson. Tell me, is it the chosen one? He will avenge us.
Hello, my friends in good company. How are you guys doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. Hope the day finds you well. Hope you've had a good week. It's been a short week. President's Day. Hopefully you guys had that off. Enjoyed the nice short week. I went golfing on Monday. It was beautiful. It was 60 degrees. Tuesday, it's freaking snowing, man. Drives me nuts. See all the beautiful people in the chat. Hello, King's Advisors. I see you, Teds. What's up? Jolo, Sparta 300, Dat Boy. Steve is in here. How are you doing, buddy? I'm going to talk about you tonight. Sparta 300, Roland New is in here. Tevin Daniels is here. The Lost Tales, Johnny Wingate, Mike Porter, my friend. Legion of Maul is in here. Ghost Rider's here. What's going on? The Stanleys, Andrew Pugh, my good friend. Cody Eichholz is here. Good to see you. Evan Martin is here. KG is in here. I never remember. Is it KG or KG? I can never remember. I hate myself for that. The Gray Pilgrim is here. How you doing? And Star Wars Discovered. Good to see you guys. Welcome to another State of the Star Wars address. This one's going to be interesting. This one's going to be... I don't know if this is going to be longer or shorter than all my other State of the Star Wars addresses, because I got some stuff I want to talk about tonight. We got to ease into it, I feel like, because there's some stuff that's going to be... Look, it's going to be on both sides of the fence tonight, okay? So if you're worried, hey, he's going too far this way, just stick around. Don't worry. I'm going to be going just the other way as well. So all you fence sitters are going to be happy. You shills are going to be stoked. And all you grifters are going to get all of the pure hatred that you need. Don't worry. We got something for everybody here on the State of Star Wars address. I want to start out with something I was talking about on Twitter the other day. I put out a Twitter poll, and then I hopped on my camera and I made a little video about Taika Waititi. Do we think that Taika Waititi is actually going to be able to make a good Star Wars movie? And to be honest with you guys, I don't really know. I think I'm still stuck on the fence. And I looked at how, here, let me pull this up real quick. I got to pull this up because I don't remember where I stuck that. I don't remember where I stuck that poll, but it was pretty freaking brutal. Like, people are like, nah, fam, not about it. And I want to hear what you guys have to say in the chat as to why do you think Taika Waititi couldn't pull it off? And then I'm going to pull up, a couple of my opinions as to why I'm against you guys. I think Taika Waititi might be able to pull it off. I'm going to be honest with you. I think the dude has a fair shot at actually being able to make a decent Star Wars movie. But at the same time, there's so many different things that this dude has done kind of in his tenure as a director that make me feel like if he touches Star Wars, it's going to implode, if that makes sense. That's all I'm going to start with. So let me pull up here. I'm going to pull up this. Bam. So I asked, is Taika Waititi a good fit for a Star Wars director? Video coming today. Yes got 13%. No got 77.9, basically 78%. No, Taika Waititi is not going to be a good director for Star Wars. And then unsure, a paltry 9%. And I like some of the comments I got. Like T-Money popped in and he's like, depends on the project. His Mando, it's blurry as F. Hold on, let me see if I can. Does this help? I don't know if I'm helping. I don't think I'm helping. I'm not very good at the internet, as it were. We're just going to stay here. Whatever. So is Taika Waititi good director for Star Wars? Yes, 13%. No, 78%. Unsure, 9%. Here's the thing about Taika Waititi, okay? Here's the thing, all right? This guy is massively hit and miss. In all of the projects that he's done, this guy, he either hits it and it's 100% or he misses and it's terrible. So two different things I'll bring up. One would be the screen adaptation for Jojo Rabbit. One of my favorite movies, I think, of the past few years. I mean, I thought it was an incredible movie. Thor: Love and Thunder, not so much. Definitely not so much. This guy has a tendency, what I think happened, and I see Thor Ragnarok in the chat too, and like we'll talk about that for a second. But I think what happened is basically you have a guy who has, I was talking to my brother about this earlier today. You have a guy who's got a bunch of oversight, right? So as he's first making his movies that are just starting to kind of break the barrier into where people are going to see his content, a lot of people, I would say it actually hits a market where a lot of people are going to see his content. He's got a lot of oversight. People are like, maybe you should tone this down. Maybe you shouldn't do this. And we can move through and kind of streamline that stuff. And then he moves into the major marketplace. So Marvel, I don't know that as basically an emerging director, you can get thrown into a higher position for a movie to direct. So we get Ragnarok and everybody's like, oh my God, Taika Waititi. Oh, what a wonderful human being, right? Everybody's so stoked on Taika Waititi. You know what? Just give him another one. Let's give him another one. And so they give him another movie, and now all of a sudden that oversight has suddenly disappeared. They're like, Taika knows what he's doing. Just trust me. This guy he's a cash cow. He's made of gold. Anything he touches is going to turn into gold. Let him do his thing. And then we wind up with a movie where essentially everything is a joke, and I think in Taika's mind, to be honest with you, I kind of feel the same way. You can ask somebody I'm working on a production with. Everything has to be fun, right? We make jokes on the set. We're having fun. Let's keep this lighthearted. Let's just enjoy the process. The problem is that sometimes that doesn't work. And you can see this in some of the quotes that we saw from Thor himself, from Hemsworth. He goes, I think I'm done with the mad scientist directors. I don't think I want to do this anymore. When you're basically tiptoeing around somebody's ego, you're basically having to dance around the ego, and we have to take part in all the kind of jokes around the sets and blah, blah, blah. I could see how that would do. It would be like TNT under a Star Wars set. I can understand that, depending on the movie that's trying to be made. And that kind of begs the question, too, Taika himself, what exactly is he trying to make in a Star Wars movie? And it's very confusing. I don't know, what kind of project would Taika be good on? And for the most part, it's always going to be kind of a serious tone with a bunch of jokes in it kind of movie. That's what Taika does. He's got that New Zealand kind of, dry British-esque type of humor that I don't know if it would fit in Star Wars, but there was that quote that he came out with when he was talking about the Star Wars movie that he wants to make. And what he basically said was, there are so many thousands of books. I can't sit down and read them all. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this correctly. Basically, he said that he wouldn't want to pick a story that people already know because he feel like he wouldn't be able to faithfully represent that story, which is good. I like to hear that. That makes me happy because it's like, all right, this guy's got a little bit of self-awareness. At least he's not trying to blast a bunch of stupid, crap out. Like, oh, we're going to make Luke a barista, a gay barista or something like that. I don't know. He's got the self-awareness there. But from his statement when he said there's so many thousands of books in the, he referenced the expanded universe. There's so many books out there. I don't have time to sit down and read all of them. That kind of, for me, everything else he said in the statement too, he was like, I want to tell a story that's outside of what's already known. I don't really want to tell something in the Skywalker saga. To me, that lends to the idea that he would be telling a story in the expanded universe, but he wants to tell a fresh original story, which I think is good. So to kind of go all the way back to where I started, what I think is actually going on, Taika Waititi, whose project is apparently, if you were to believe any of the rumors and all those different things, his project is greenlit. He's going to be telling a story in the expanded universe. That's my assumption. That's not something that you can put on paper. And I think it's going to be a goofy kind of story. It's going to be very much like a Thor Ragnarok type of Star Wars story, which, if you're up for that, I'm down. I would much rather have him tell something a little bit more serious, but that's just not who Taika is. I just hate to think that our first real our first foray really into kind of, the Old Republic or the expanded universe into any of those sections is going to be, and I just saw somebody in the chat saying, I'm watching you guys, I'd hate for it to be a Spaceballs 2. That would drive me nuts. Yogurt running around talking about the Schwartz and making jokes and stuff like that. Star Wars right now, for at least a lot of us, is already kind of in a jokey state. It's like, apparently we've just abandoned everything that we held dear. And we're just, this is a comedy now. That's what we're doing. Yeah, sure. Why not? And that plays back into, obviously we've already seen Taika do something in Star Wars. We saw him do, chapter 8. And in chapter 8, what happens? It's like it's a meta joke about stormtroopers not being able to aim for like 5 minutes. It's just 2 scout troopers sitting on bikes, shooting at shit and just missing for like 5 minutes straight and making jokes about it. And I think Jason Sudeikis was one of the stormtroopers. Oh, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see a whole Star Wars movie where the director is basically trying to make everything like a meta joke. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem to fit for me. A lot of people are going to be like, well, you just don't know what Star Wars turned into. I can't handle it. I don't want to see it. And then on the other side of that, we have, Jojo Rabbit, where we have a very serious story that's being told that also gets portrayed ridiculously. You have a kid running around in cardboard armor. There's I think one of the SS commanders was gay and he puts like feathers in his hat and stuff like that. But there were serious moments in that film that he worked in with a comedy that I think would work. It could work. It could work. So at this point, I'm leaning like 60% he could pull it off, 40% please don't touch it. What's giving me a little bit of hope is that I think Taika Waititi understands exactly the kind of beast that he's dealing with when it comes to Star Wars and how rabid the fandom can be. We can be seriously rabid. You know what I mean? We can be. I see you guys in the chat. I'm going to catch up here for a little bit. What's up? I see Alan Copeland's in here. Mary Lanning is here. Good to see you. Star Wars Dog showed up. What's up, buddy? Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Oh, Ted. My Ted. Taika's doing the Book of Jar Jar. That was the last thing that he said in that video. He's like, do you guys want to see a Jar Jar Binks movie? You want to see a Jar Jar Binks? I think it might wind up being basically the Star Wars comedy hour. That's not what I want, man. It doesn't fit, period. You have fruitcakes running Star Wars. Nice. What's up, Rambo Jones? How you doing? Love the show. Keep up the good work. I appreciate it. So moving on from the poll, moving on from Taika Waititi, that's the state of, at this point, what seems like the most plausible movie to come out. Obviously, there's all the stuff that's going on with the leaks that we've gotten from Lucasfilm about the financial decisions that they want to make when it comes to how they want to proceed with the other movies. And obviously, we've gotten the big news that we made a financial decision that the easiest way to move forward with Star Wars is to make another movie with Rey because we already have everything set up. That's a serious case of not being able to sit down and actually take your medicine. Like, okay, we fucked up. I should have bleeped that second one. I apologize. We messed up. I think we need to start back from ground zero and basically, we need to build back better. We got to figure something else out that's going to work, that's going to, at least, if it doesn't, I don't know that there's ever going to be a uniting the fan base. That's something that when I started YouTube and I came in very bright-eyed, I kind of thought to myself, if I just make content that's about the content and bring people in and create this amazing community where we can all sit and talk about Star Wars, we'll unite the fan base. This is not what happened. This is not what happened at all. And I came to realize very quickly that there is a section of the fan base of Star Wars on both sides that has no interest in peace talks, has no interest in coming to an agreement. There's no interest in finding a common path forward. They are firmly planted on either side, and there are bad people on both sides. What kind of stinks is that a lot of YouTubers get mixed up in that circle that don't belong in those boxes, and I've noticed that as well. There's a lot of really good people who are just kind of mad about the stuff that's coming out. They're getting called horrible words, absolutely horrible words. But we can talk on that in just a little bit. Is that an Xwing cup? No, yeah. I will open up the merch store again soon. It's not open right now. I'm talking with Teespring because Teespring's trash. I hate it. The store's been closed for a long time just because it also feels kind of like money grabby to have a merch store. Scott Westbrook for $5 said, at least I get to catch you live for a little while. It's good to see you, Scott. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the $5. I think I need a little refresher. I gotta empty my brain. God, I love that song. It's so catchy. Benjamin Martindale says, I just want to go back to the feeling of the hype in 2014, 2015 before we were all let down. Yeah, that was a great time to be a Star Wars fan. I mean, you had the gap between, the 80s and the 90s where we got no Star Wars. I mean, obviously you had authors that were coming out with amazing books at the time. Amazing books. I still have my signed Heir to the Empire by Timothy Zahn sitting behind me. That stuff keeps me sane when I'm not sane. I would love for the hype to get back there. The problem is that the last time that we had a project that really kind of inspired that excitement in the fan base was Mandalorian Chapter 16. I feel like that was the last time everybody was like, oh, Star Wars is back. We're pumped. The whole of the fan base was, the internet was on fire. Everybody was talking. It was amazing. And then right after that, shortly after that, we get all the news with Gina Carano. And it's like all of a sudden there's poop back on there's poo stains on the underwear of Lucasfilm again. People are upset. The division returns. And it's like, we're right back to square one, which is such a bummer. Such a bummer. $1 in the swear jar. No, I'm I'm going to cuss as much as I want on here. I got a good friend in the chat, the legendary Thrawn, my brother. How you doing? Good to see you here tonight. My eyes rolled so hard. Yeah. I'd rock Xwing merch proudly. Well, there you go. If Knights of Melvin's going to wear it, then I'm going to get the store back up. Good to see you, friend. Good to see you. So anyways, moving on from that, Twitter has been an absolutely insane space for like the past, I don't know, the past like 2 weeks, I feel like have just been nuts. I've tried to kind of stay off social media. I haven't really been doing like all that much YouTube. I made, a couple of videos. I made some shorts. More I've been trying to interact with like, my subscribers on Twitter and talking and kind of getting some ideas of how you guys are feeling about Star Wars, and also kind of brainstorming about what's about to come, because, Mandalorian season 3 is right around the corner. Bad Batch has been completely in the back of my mind. I don't even know if I'm necessarily caught up right now. It just hasn't been, I don't know. Bad Batch really hasn't done anything for me. So I'm looking forward to Mandalorian season 3 because I think that's the best. Oh yeah, and beyond that, I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy like an absolute fiend for like 2 weeks. Because the game is amazing. And there's going to be a video coming on that soon as well. But I lost track of I was thinking about Barnabas, my character in Hogwarts. But, essentially we're waiting for Jedi Survivor to come out. We've got now this here. Let me pull this up on screen. We're done with Taika Waititi. Here we go. Now we've got this book coming out that's supposed to be a bridge between Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. Okay, so it's called Jedi Battle Scars, and it is written by none other than Sam Maggs. Now, if you guys don't remember who Sam Maggs is, there's a reason that there's a reason that I'm not excited about this book. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm going to order it. I feel like I kind of have to. Like, I have to read through this if I'm going to play Survivor, if I'm going to understand this whole story. The problem is that Sam Maggs wrote this book. Now, I don't know if you guys know this. On a personal and professional level, I fucking hate Sam Maggs. Like, I really don't like this human being. If you want to find out for yourself exactly why, just go scroll through Twitter. Scroll through Twitter for like 5 minutes. Go check out Sam Maggs. Scroll through Twitter. Don't forget as well, Sam Maggs was also the individual who decided that Luke needed to be bisexual or gay, however you want to call it. Sam Maggs is somebody who... All right. Let me clarify something. I'm going to make something real clear, real quick on this channel. If you got a problem with gay people, trans people, whatever the case is, just go. Leave. You're not somebody who needs to be a part of my community. My problem is people who adopt this mentality that that's their entire personality, and they're not able to create content. They're not able to interact with society. They're not able to do anything unless it's in the frame or the reference of being gay or trans or whatever. That's it. That's all they can do. It's the only thing they can talk about. It's the only thing they want to write about. It's the only thing that they can do to interact with other humans because they lack any other personality. And so they put the badge on and they're like, this is who I am. And that's the only thing I can talk about. And that's exactly the kind of person Sam Maggs is. And it drives me absolutely nuts. It drives me nuts. There's my 2 cents on that. But anyways, so Star Wars Jedi Battle Scars is coming out. I actually don't know anything about the book, and I apologize. I should have done a little bit more research on this. The problem, again, is that it's Sam Maggs, and so I'm just not interested in reading it. But I'll tell you what, for a good bit of research, I'm going to buy the book. I'm going to read it because I'm interested in these characters. That's the most important thing. I really do like these characters. And Sarah Jund, I thought, was somebody who was kind of underutilized in the game. I kind of wish she had a little more time in the spotlight because she was really cool. It's a really cool story. You got a Jedi who basically turns, and I like Grease a lot. I really like Grease. It just reminds me of my grandpa for some reason. I don't know why. And I think Cal Kestis is a criminally criminally underutilized aspect of live action Star Wars and everything that we've been getting to this point. The fact that they didn't do a little cameo or a little something anywhere in any of the shows where we might have seen Cal show up, that's a little bit of a bummer to me, especially, Kenobi. Not that it would have saved the show, but I mean, Kenobi and everything that was going on with the Fortress Inquisitorius, just to have him kind of show up at some point and be like, hey, what's up? I've been here. Nothing. Not a peep. Not a damn peep. But written by Sam Maggs, this book will bridge the gap between the two games and chronicle another adventure for Cal and the crew, the Stinger Mantis. When Cal and friends encounter an Imperial stormtrooper looking to defect, they catch wind of a powerful weapon that could deal a major blow to the Empire. The only catch is that pursuing this mission will once again put them in the crosshairs of the Sith Inquisitorius, and Fifth Brother is itching for a fight. What do you want to bet? If anybody wants to take a bet, I don't know what the odds are that we get our favorite Inquisitor in this book. Reva! What do you want to bet Reva shows up in this book? Not interested. No apologies. If I want to not like Reva, that's my body. That's my choice. If I don't want to like Reva, I don't have to like Reva. It's my body. It's my choice.
My choice! 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 That's my choice!
That's a groove, man. That's a really good groove. Okay, so moving on. I actually really am. I'm looking forward to Jedi Survivor. I thought, I'm not done with Hogwarts yet. I got a lot to play there, but I know that Survivor is going to, at the very least, be a very pretty game. Hopefully, at best, it's got a great Star Wars story. I don't know exactly what we're going to get. I wish I had a little bit more inside info. I know that there's maybe somebody in the chat, maybe not, maybe somebody who watches this channel that could tell me all about it. And if you just tell me, all I want to do is know. Just tell me what I need to hear. One thing I am looking forward to, though, let me present this. Meow. Man, the runtime of the Mandalorians. Did they literally misspell Mandalorian? I just realized that. The runtime of the Mandalorian Season 3 debut will set a new record for the Star Wars franchise, but not in a good way. And I was actually really surprised to hear this. The Mandalorian Season 3 introductory episode is going to be 35 minutes long. What? I mean, that's crazy, right? That's so short. So I have to imagine this first episode is just going to be like so punchy. I don't know if they're going to pack a bunch of stuff into this, and that's why it's only 35 minutes long. But my girls and boys, I got to tell you, if it's only 35 minutes, they've got a lot of work to do in a very, very short amount of time. A very, very short amount of time. How much is Jedi Survivor supposed to cost? Here you go. Double A says the deluxe edition is going to be $70. Yeah, that doesn't seem like all that crazy. I think that's what I paid for. What do you call it? Hogwarts Legacy. At least I think I might have paid more than that, to be honest with you, because I wanted that like 72-hour early release. That's not at all uncommon, I would say. Reva puts a spell on you with her black magic. She's wonderful. Scary's hard to disagree. I don't know what else to say. Anakin Skywalker says, Xwing, I have a Lego Y-Wing Starfighter review in live stream. Sick, man. Legos are awesome. I'm not really a Lego guy. I'm going to be honest with you. I built a couple. I built a few. If you want to talk Legos, you got to talk to Rissman. That's the boy for Legos. Ronnie says, why wasn't I told Xwing was streaming? If you haven't remembered already, please hit the subscribe button. And then right next to it, there's a little bell button. You hit that, and then it tells you when I'm doing stuff. Very simple. So simple. But yeah, $70 for Survivor. I feel like that's pretty normal for a deluxe edition. You can buy the one that's absolutely insane. And I think it comes with like a lightsaber and a hard case and all that different kind of stuff, but it's like that's like $170 or I don't even remember how, maybe it was like $300. I don't know. So short, WTF, don't care. WTF. Yeah, people are not super happy about it. I see Darth Snow in the chat. What's up, friend? What's up, dude? I feel like it's been a little while. You and I haven't talked in a little bit of time. It's good to see you. Why only 35 minutes? I'll be honest with you. I don't actually know exactly the reason why. I mean, Book of Boba Fett premiere was 37 minutes. Obi-Wan Kenobi was 51 minutes. Season 2 debut was what? 16 is 10 is 52 minutes, 51 minutes, somewhere around almost an hour. So I don't really know. If I had to guess, they're probably going to do some kind of crazy cliffhanger thing, and they're going to try to make a bunch of punchy action. If I had to guess, I think it's going to be a big punchy action episode, and that's why they're keeping it kind of short, because a lot of times if you do, not only for budget reasons, but if you do a big punchy action episode, generally running those a lot longer, you get less bang for your buck. People tend to lose interest, and all of a sudden that really cool $1.2 million visual effect starts to look a lot less cool at the end of the episode, if that makes sense. So that could be it. Tough to say. Moni G's in the chat. What's up, Moni? How are you? I'm sorry, I'm going through these. Humphrey Bear says Devil Woman. How dare you assume my gender? I don't know. Drop 2 episodes back to back. Yeah, they could do that. I'd love that, but I think they really want to stretch this out. I mean, the bottom line is Mandalorian right now is Star Wars' cash cow. This is their big thing. This is what they have, and if it fails, it's not going to be good for Star Wars. This is kind of like the last toehold for a lot of people hanging on. There are obviously some holdouts for sure that are still super mad about the Carano thing. I'm really interested to see if they're even going to address the Gina Carano thing in this. I think they should. The really shitty people on Twitter have already been saying like, oh, I hope we find out that she got an Xwing and died. Go fuck yourself. Valiente is for $10. That's a super sticker. What's up, dude? Ivan, you don't got to do that, man. I saw that you got the figure. I'm stoked you like the wax stamp on the figure. That's a very personal touch. I picked those colors just for you, Ivan. Just for you. Pirate Bob says, my theory is that Disney is going to put them on network TV to gain some eyeballs. TV shows have to run around that time for commercials. Yeah, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I mean, how long something needs to run to fill like an hour, time slot on ABC or something like that, I don't know. But with everything that's been going on with Disney in terms of cutting Bob Iger's plan, and this is speculatory, but in my mind, this is speculatory. This is what's going on in my mind, is that Bob Iger is looking at everything that's going on with not only Marvel, but Star Wars as well, and saying the system is broken and we need to fix it. So what's one of the first things that happens? They fire the head of distribution, right? Look, that was a holdout for Bob Chapek. We need to get rid of this guy. We need to seriously start looking at how we're distributing and creating this content. And, they said, oh, well, they're selling this off to Hulu. They're selling it to these people. That's the same company, man. Like, it's the same company. If they start showing Mandalorian on ESPN, it's still Disney, bro. Like, let's not forget that. But yeah, that would make sense. I mean, Disney putting them on network TV to gain some eyeballs. I mean, how many times have we watched, Return of the Jedi on TNT? And if I were them, I'd be doing the same thing. I'll be honest with you. I don't feel like it's a bad play. Scary says, I can't wait for the adventures of Reva and her story of saving the galaxy from its worst threat yet, racism. It can certainly feel sometimes like it's going that way, but to be honest with you, if I had to pick like one IP right now that's suffering probably the least from the kind of projective SJW stuff, I feel like it's Star Wars. dude, DC is in a mess right now, and Marvel has just gone through phase 4, which was an absolute tank. Like, if we really look at this practically, DC has suffered horribly on TV. Marvel has suffered horribly on Disney Plus and on the big screen from the agendas or whatever you want to call it. That has not been the case for Star Wars. It hasn't failed because of that. Maybe it's because they're not putting any content out on the big screen. You know what I mean? But if you think about it, they're definitely the ones that are kind of, Star Wars is kind of at the bottom of the list when it comes to the gnarly SJW stuff. But yeah, I see in the chat, phase 5 is kind of already off that way as well. I see my friend, the most handsome man on YouTube, Star Wars Ladage, is here. Good to see you, buddy. Double A says, Xwing, I can watch The Mandalorian without Grogu and be fine with it. I personally don't need Grogu there for Mandalorian lore. Grogu at this point is just a cash cow and just for normie lovers. Yeah, so here's the thing, and I will tell you this. I will tell you this completely unashamed. I like Grogu. I think he's a great little character. Like, he's very cute. The little thing works. The problem is that when you introduce something like that, I mean, the same way that George did with the Ewoks, when you introduce something like that, you can't make it a main story component and then begin to lean on it unless you have plans to basically fast forward that process to a point where we're no longer looking at them as a baby. The whole, baby cute thing is only going to work for so long. And so I think this kind of lends to what we were talking about when Lucasfilm had the plan to move everything forward. Now Grogu's going to be a teenager. He's hanging out with Rey. He's learning how to be a Jedi. That makes sense because now, you've got Grogu as a teenager and you can remarket Grogu now. Now there's different plushies. Now there's different dolls. There's different toys. There's all these different things that you can do with him. But when it comes to the story of The Mandalorian, what doesn't make sense to me is the fact that he's still the child right now. He's still a little baby. And season 4 of The Mandalorian is already written. It's already complete. Jon Favreau just said in an interview, it's already written. It's complete. We're done. So my question is, are they going to do a time jump in Mandalorian to try to fix the Grogu problem? Or are they just going to continue with the overexposure of Grogu and say, hey, if you don't like it, deal with it. White moms are loving this. They're slamming Prozac and they're drinking Chardonnay and just going, Grogu's the damn cutest thing in the world. You know what little Johnny wants for Christmas? He wants some more Grogu toys. And hey, look, if it works for you, Lucasfilm, we know what you're interested in. It's money. It's not in the stories. So just saying. The premiere of The Mandalorian will be on cable TV. What? That'd be the first I've heard of that. I don't think that's true. If it is, send me the link to whatever article or where that came from. Send it to me on Twitter because I'm very interested to hear that. Confused more than anything. Very confused if that's true, which I don't believe it is, but I could be mistaken. Scary says, SJWs, you found another bone to pick for now until Star Wars is popular again with The Mandalorian. Disney will use the success of Mando Season 3 to justify all their other future terrible projects. Great story brings money. I agree, but we're not on the board, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Pirate Bob, you might have been onto something. Pretty sure it's just the first episode of Mando Season 1. Yeah, I think they're just putting the original Mandalorian episodes on, and I think they're just putting them on Hulu. I don't know if they're putting them on cable TV, but it would make sense. I wouldn't be at all surprised to, be having my coffee on Sunday morning, pull up TNT and the Mandalorian's flying around somewhere. I think at this point, why would you leave it on Disney Plus? Why would you not put it out on major networks? A lot of people were saying that looks like a really weak play by Disney, but I would disagree wholeheartedly. You're pulling money out of one pocket and putting it in the other when you're putting it on Hulu. So Evan Martin says, I wonder how old Grogu would have to be before he hits his teenage years. Might not be possible to show on Mando. if it's still not 150 to 200. Right. So that's kind of what I was talking about with, the Rey thing. If they push it forward, however many years until Rey's, tromping around, he might be old enough at that point where he's undergone some kind of change and they can remarket Grogu. Maybe he talks now, yada, yada, yada. But if season 4 of The Mandalorian stays in that same time period, it would stand to reason that the Grogu is not going to change much between now and season 4 unless we wind up with a geriatric Din Djarin. Din Djarin. I always have trouble saying that one. I like the little green. Man, I am having trouble talking right now. I like the little green gremlin, but too much of him already. Yeah, a lot of people are bored of him. He definitely made his run in the parks. When I was at Disney, there was a lot of Grogu. I went to the Disney Star Wars land. There was a lot of Grogu there. It seemed like they were starting to phase some of the things out, and they were bringing in some more of the original trilogy stuff. Like, I remember watching early on some of the stuff that they were showing for merch and Doc Ondars, which is basically like it's the big shop where everybody wants to go buy stuff. It's the reliquary where all the good stuff is. And then when I went in there, I mean, they had like a Rey robe, and I think I saw like one Grogu doll or something like that. But everything else was pretty much original and prequel trilogy, which was pretty cool for me. I liked it. Legion of Maul says, less Grogu, more action / violence. I think this is going to be, if I had to guess, this is probably going to be the most violent season that we've gotten yet. I think right about, the middle of Book of Boba Fett, when we see Din Djarin chopping people in half with a Darksaber, like, I was super up for that. I was like, okay, nice. And then you go back to Boba Fett, and he's just like, completely incompetent and useless. But I think if I had to guess, we're going to see a lot of action on Navarro. We're going to see them basically retaking the planet. It looks like probably the Empire came in and messed a bunch of stuff up. I don't know who they're looking for at this point. Oh God, I just thought of that. I mean, if Moff Gideon is in jail, who's coming after the Mandalorians right now and why? I'll have to speculate on that a little bit. I'll have to think about it. I don't know. Yoda was 900 when he died, and he trained as a Jedi for 800. The Grogu timeline is already messed up. Yeah, I'm not going to say you're not wrong. I heard Grogu dies and Din has to watch over a girl named Ellie who's immune to zombies. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. There was a leaked timeline of that. Are you guys enjoying that show, by the way? I've been keeping up on it. I haven't been watching it all on time, but I mean, I'm enjoying the show. There was that one really weird episode, man, where it just jumped off and it's like, hey, do you want to see some dudes do it? Enjoy. I'm like, okay, I don't know what that had to do with the story. A bunch of people yelled at me. They're like, it's because we need to find out how he gets a truck. I'm like, well, you could have just fucking walked in and gotten the truck, I guess. Maybe I'm bad for thinking that. Sparta 300 says, Xwing, do you think the future of Star Wars lies in what is being called the Great Unknown, the unknown regions? I think the future of Star Wars was there. If you're a fan of Thrawn, basically a lot of the stuff. I hate it when I see that kind of shit in chat. It breaks me up every time. A lot of the stuff that we were getting, a lot of the stuff that was coming out that was fresh and new was a lot of stuff about Thrawn and the unknown regions, wild space, stuff like that. The Chiss ascendancy, things like that, which I really liked. There was a lot of good stuff there. I think it was an awesome way to kind of, basically side skirt everything that's going on in the core. And everything, with the Jedi and the Empire and everything like that. Obviously, Thrawn has ties to the Empire because of everything that happens. But we got a little bit of a prequel with, where Thrawn comes from with the Chiss ascendancy, and now there's the Grisk, which is essentially, basically just the Yuuzhan Vong. I think is essentially what the Grisk are. Whether or not that stuff makes it into mainstream Star Wars at this point, I'm not holding my breath. Thrawn's going to come back. I think he's going to be a molecule of the character that he should be. He's going to be a very, very, very minute slice of the complexity that is Thrawn, essentially to serve the purpose of Ahsoka and Ezra making their way back in. If I had to guess, I think that's probably what's going to happen. But I'll sit down and talk Thrawn with you guys all day. If you want to talk Thrawn, I love that stuff. King's Advisors for a $10. Thank you, brother. Here, man. This will help with... Here, man, this will help them. It's very simple. Lightsabers and pew-pews. Is that so much to ask for? Is it so much to ask for?
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend, for the 10. I appreciate it. I appreciate it much. I'm not having strokes. I'm just having trouble kind of gathering my thoughts tonight. I don't know. There's so much to talk about. There's so many different things. And not to mention my brain's on like nuclear war at this point. I'm like, well, we're probably going to get nuked tomorrow. Why am I talking about Star Wars? Pirate says, I'm so surprised they didn't lean heavily into the High Republic. It's so awesome. It's the bestest ever.
Shit, I don't even know. Like, I can't even tell you that. Like,
/sarcasm. Star Wars Latosh says, I bet Thrawn will be purple. Do you remember like how freaked out people were about all that crazy oh god, it was the Cad Bane. Cad Bane wasn't the right color. We were all freaking out about that. And then there was the Inquisitor and his eyes weren't right and everything like that. Star Wars fans. I put out that short that was like the dialogue in Mandalorian just seems kind of odd to me, and it is. I mean, some of the shit they were saying, they're like, you're an apostate. If you were with us, you could be landed gentry. Landed gentry? Like, what is this fucking... Is this Great Britain? And what are we doing? It's the British Empire in the 1600s. You're going to be landed gentry. I just didn't understand it. And of course, all the comments were like, why don't you just stop complaining and stop being a piece of shit? I'm like, dude, really? I run a Star Wars channel. What the fuck else do you want me to talk about? So we'll see. I don't know. Hopefully the dialogue in that show is just not like super heavy-handed. And I saw one person that commented, I wish I'd pull it up right now if I could, that was like, you know, maybe they're trying to make up for everything that we saw in Andor. Now they're trying to be like, I'm intelligent. It's possible. I don't know. I just thought it was a weird it was just weird. I don't know. It was just weird. It's Jon Favreau. He wrote Boba Fett. Tell Jon Favreau to put his thesaurus down for 5 seconds. He's fine. Apollo Creed been reading too much Shakespeare.
What the hell is even that?
Give me some scoops. Give me the scoops. Let me know a little something about that redhead baby. What you got? I put another tweet out today that got some traction. People weren't too happy about. I don't know why. Let's see if we can share this one. This kind of piggybacks on what I was saying earlier. This is the stuff that just like it's so irritating. So to anybody who doesn't know, I already got blocked by that gay Jedi or whatever his name is, so I can't pull up his tweets. But the other one is this dude, Brian Him Space Daddy from the Pink Milk Channel. The Pink Milk Channel put out a tweet that said, I'm pretty open to most Star Wars thoughts except for two. Din Djarin is gay, a homosexual man specifically. Boba Fett, also gay, a bisexual man specifically. If you don't agree, you're just wrong. You're just wrong. And the reason I retweeted this and I said, we're not sexualizing Star Wars in our conversations was because of one very specific thing. And I feel like sometimes I have to elaborate on this stuff because a lot of people don't exactly see what's going on. But Pink Milk and That Gay Jedi our two Star Wars Twitterers. I'm not going to call them YouTubers because look at this. Where are we at on this channel? What are my subscribers at? We're at what? I think we're like 2.8. We're like 2.8, something like that. 2.8. I have never been invited to a premiere. I've never been, asked to talk to anybody from Lucasfilm. I've never gotten an invite. I've never gotten a message. They have no idea who I am. But you've got roughly 3,000 people, that want to hear about Star Wars. Pink Milk's at 771. A fucking invite to the Andor premiere on the red carpet. Why do you suppose that happened? If you had to take an educated guess as to why somebody with no following was given the invite to the Andor premiere when I so vocally, very vocally supported that show while being chastised heavily by my subscribers, heavily chastised and chided by my friends and my subscribers for supporting that show. So this just kind of rolls back into that whole thing, man. It's like, why, you're allowed to have more of a personality than just your sexuality. That's it. Is there anything wrong with stating that? Like, you don't need to sexualize Star Wars in your conversations. And so I said, we're not sexualizing because this is something that was stated. These are the two people that are going to, what's the thing called? Star Wars Celebration. They're doing the drag celebration. Look at their other social media. Dude, Maria, you can't be running those kind of abbreviations by me. I don't know what that means. Yeah, possible, I guess. I don't know. But this is another one of those accounts. I mean, the same thing with, what was the other girl that tried to copyright? She copyright struck my channel. Kathia Woods. You remember Kathia Woods? She had to sit down and interview with fucking Catherine Zeta-Jones on her channel. Got 92 views. 92 views on an interview with fucking Catherine Zeta-Jones. And they're out here telling me they're living their best life. You're just a grifter. I'm like, she's fucking struck my channel for making slightly fun of her. What do you mean? It wasn't even bad. I slightly made fun of her. And she's like, we're taking his channel down. Get a job. So anyways, I said, yeah, we're not sexualizing Star Wars in our conversations, in quotations, because these are the people that are putting on the drag show at Star Wars Celebration. And then you get Din Djarin is gay, a homosexual man specifically. Boba Fett, also gay, a bisexual man specifically. If you don't agree, you're just wrong. Now, the problem for me is not that this person thinks that Din Djarin's gay or Boba Fett is gay. I don't give a shit. Headcanon is the most important thing in Star Wars. It's the most important thing. Headcanon is the only thing that's going to get you through the day when it comes to Star Wars these days. My only problem, is that when somebody does something like this and then turns around, gets a drag panel at Star Wars Celebration and says, this is not about sexual anything. It's not sexuality. It's like, well, it clearly fucking is. Isn't it? Am I nuts? Anyways, the comments on that weren't too happy, but I'm just tired of me pointing something out and then somebody else telling me I'm crazy for pointing it out or that I'm a terrible person for pointing it out. It's like, I'm not saying anything against these people. I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy because it's freaking rampant. And then, dude, you get the Twitter mob will turn around on you, and it doesn't really matter what the truth is. It's just so long as you can get the mob behind you, you're good. I don't even know what this is. Oh, I think I missed something in the chat. I'm like, oh, what the hell is going on right now? Benjamin Martindale says, Twitter's where you go if you want to feel better about yourself. For the most part, yeah. I mean, I try to stay off Twitter as much as humanly possible, but I open it up and it's like, I want to respond to everything. That's why I can't get on there. I cannot get on there. Bro, Din Djarin totally eyed that lady in season 1 in the village when they defended against the ATST. You're a bigot and you're wrong. He's gay. But yeah, I totally remember that. She almost got his helmet off, remember? She almost got his helmet off. He's like, dude, I might be able to do this. Blue shrimp, got a fine ass, like kind of Tongan looking lady, Pacific Islander gal. Baby's gonna be looked after. I could do this. I could see it. It would have worked. Twitter is trash, bro. You know what? Twitter is a mess. Unhinged Karen NPCs. You guys are making me feel better. You're making me feel better. Boba Fett is not gay. He's never written that way. Who cares about the mob? Yeah, I mean, he had a daughter and a wife, but there's no source material. So what are you gonna do? Bunch of Skittles people. Yeah, I don't know. So I put that up, and then one of my subscribers, one of my moderators. Oh wait, no, it was a different one. It was a different one. I don't know if I'm gonna pull this one up. I want to though. I put out a tweet. I was like, hold on. It's so far down at this point. Where did it go? Where did it go? There we go. Share screen. I'm interested to hear what the chat thinks about this. I'm thinking about branching out a little bit on my channel. I love talking Star Wars, but sometimes at the end of the workday, if I've had a bad day, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to talk about Star Wars right now. I really don't. A lot of times it doesn't bring up good feelings. I'm like, why don't I take a minute? I'd love to talk about some other stuff. I'd love to talk about Hogwarts Legacy, but you feel a little bit, what's the word? You feel a little kind of gated in, like you feel like you can't spread your wings. You want to talk about other stuff, but you can't because you're a Star Wars channel. People only subscribe to you because they want to hear about your Star Wars opinions. And if you talk about anything else, nobody's going to give a shit. And it's going to ruin you on the algorithm. But at this point, I'm having enough fun on YouTube and hanging out with you guys. I think I'm going to start talking about a little bit more stuff. But I asked the question, should I make the first ever Xwing rant on why the Hogwarts Legacy boycott failed? We got 63 votes. 85% said yes. 14% said no. Tom Riddle, said filthy mudbloods and voted yes. And I'm definitely thinking, if Lord Voldemort tells me I need to make a rant video on why the Hogwarts Legacy boycott failed, I should. And then at the bottom here, Dat Ally Steve, if you do, please try and be respectful about it. That's all I ask. Some of us are still upset about that failure. What? Look, here's the deal, man. Where is it? I lost it already. If I want to make a video about Hogwarts Legacy and I want to be rude, it's my body, my choice.
My choice! 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 That's my choice!
I love that video. I love it so much. It's just so funny. She was going crazy, man. That's somebody who believes in what they're doing. Yeah, I'm gonna make a video on it. Really, I mean, honestly, more than anything, I want to make a video on why that game was exceptional. I mean, I've been a gamer forever since when has Xwing ever been respectful? Hey, man, don't be like that. She do be right though.
You must contradict yourself.
So, yeah, I don't know. I just want to talk about it because I think it's an amazing game. There's so much good stuff. There's so many amazing things to be enjoyed by that game. And just anybody who's like, this is damaging to trans people, like, you're a moron. It's not. It's a Harry Potter game. Get over yourself. So, looking forward to talking about that. That's pretty much all I had for Star Wars tonight. There's going to be a lot more to talk about very, very soon. I've been going 58 minutes and 45 seconds. I think we can make it last another 60. Oh, look at all these. Look, who are all these people showing up in the chat now? Right as I'm leaving. You guys wait until I've been going for an hour and then you're going to peace out? What the fuck, man? That junk man's in the chat. Can't believe people are upset about a Sweat Hogs video game. What? It's Hogwarts. Wrong. Brian said, was that drunk 3PO? Was it? Was that drunk 3PO? I don't know. Let's take a look.
My choice! My choice! My choice!
I don't know. I don't think so. Kind of the same glasses, though.
Actually, can I hold you by the waterfall?
That was weird. Never meet your heroes, folks. Never meet your heroes. 1 week until Mando. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up for Star Wars. I think there's going to be a lot to talk about. You know, when Jedi comes out, I think that's going to be a big one. Oh, yeah, I saw this. HBO is more than likely going to make a series about Hogwarts Legacy. I saw that floating around the internet today. I didn't really believe it. I don't know. You never know. There's been so many projects that have been, you know, hey, we're making this. No, we're not. Hey, we're making this. No, we're not. Are you going to stream Jedi Survivor? Yes. And what's cool is I think I can, because of the way things work, I think I can stream it on this main channel. I don't know 100%. I'll give it a shot. If YouTube is just like, nah, fam, don't do that, then I'll go back to my gaming channel and I'll just do it on my gaming channel. I actually think, you know what, I'm probably just going to do it on my gaming channel anyways, because I do lunchtime gaming streams. So like 12 o'clock Pacific, I'll pop on and I'll play for, you know, half an hour or something like that, just in the middle of the day to kind of break up the monotony. Matt Bontel says, Xwing, what streaming software do you use? I use 3 different things for YouTube. Streaming software, I use StreamYard, heavily modified StreamYard. But I also sometimes use Streamlabs, not OBS. I use Streamlabs, which is essentially the same thing. But yeah, it depends on what you're doing. Depends on what you're doing. But if you need help, join the Discord. Send me a message. I'm more than happy to. If you need help with anything, I'll get you started. That is a really good question. Are you going to do Mando watch parties? I want to, man, but I'm old. God, I hate work when I do watch parties. I think I probably will for the season premiere. I would count on one for the season premiere. I think I'll do one for the season premiere, and then beyond that, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll do the first one and then check out the second one, and if it looks like it's something where, you know, it's not worth me essentially fucking ruining the middle of my week, then I won't do it. But we'll see. Why can't you do it? Star Wars Theory does it. I don't have fucking 3 million subscribers. I need all the help I can get. So a lot of times when you do gaming on your main channel, YouTube's like, oh, you're a gaming channel now? Okay, let me throw you at like the bottom of the list. And it really screws you. So we'll see. I don't know. Any other Star Wars modeling kit project you're planning on? I'm working right now on the Tantive. If you guys have ever seen the vintage collection Tantive hallway playset, I got a bunch of Rebels that I bought actually from China. I got some Rebels from China, and then I got some of the legit Stormtroopers, because you can't mess up on a Stormtrooper. I got the legit Troop Builder Pack Stormtroopers, all in 3.75. And then I'm getting all of the lasers figured out. So you'll have the hallway with the Rebels on one side, and then the Stormtroopers on the other side, and then all the lasers blowing in through the hallway. And then I got one of the Stormtroopers. He's drilled through the chest, so he's got a hole. And there's a laser going in through his chest. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. I promise. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna be it for me tonight. Thank you everybody for joining me. It's kind of weird. This is supposed to be on a Wednesday, but it was a short week. I've been busy doing a little bit of voiceover work too, extra voiceover work. Go check out the History of Pirates. You'll see a video from me coming out on that channel very soon. And that's kind of it. Thank you everybody for being here. There's like 60 some odd people in here hanging out. I have enjoyed hanging out with you guys. We'll do this again next week for my members. Any of my members, be ready for the end of the month. We're going to sit down. I owe you guys some Black Series figures. I seriously owe you guys some Black Series figures. So we're going to do the giveaway for the members only at the end of the month. sit down. I've got vintage collection, Star Wars Episode 1. I've got ones from, Revenge of the Sith. I've got a bunch of figs. We got to get everybody taken care of that's held on with me through kind of the tougher months here on YouTube that has been subscribed and is owed some giveaways. So be ready for that. We'll be there at the end of February, and March is going to be a new day, a new beginning. Mandalorian Season 3 is starting. We got a lot to talk about, and there's so much more to talk about that I'm excited for. So anyways, I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Don't forget, tomorrow is the Star Wars we love. We're talking about The Empire Strikes Back with Drunk 3PO, which is going to be an absolutely phenomenal stream. So I will see you guys there. Thank you so much. Much love. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll leave you with that.
Perfect.